From all over the island of Ireland, they gather just once a year. The authors of 24 exceptional stories of success. All are grateful to share the night with family, friends and colleagues. But there can only be one winner. It's the highlight of the business calendar. It's the EY Entrepreneur of the Year Award. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts for the evening, Mark Little and Victoria Smurfett.
Hello and welcome to the 2015 Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. It's our pleasure to be part of what is the ultimate red carpet night in Irish business.
Well, hopefully without some of the classic Hollywood histrionics. So, winners, remember to name check your spouses, and if you can, avoid thanking your psychics or your yoga masters. Our finalists tonight have played starring roles in the recovery, and they've shown character and true grit to carve out a happy ending. And tonight is their opportunity to step into the spotlight, to take our applause and our appreciation.
Now, in all, there are 24 finalists with a unique story worth shouting about. They're part of a new wave of Irish entrepreneurs who have risen above tough times and are ready to conquer a rapidly changing world.
We will be heralding winners in 3 categories: emerging, industry and international.
And from these 3 winners will come the overall Entrepreneur of the Year for 2015.
Now, we are honoured tonight to be joined by 2 very special guests: the Minister for Finance, Michael Noonan, and the Minister for Finance and Personnel of Northern Ireland, Arlene Foster, MLA. And joining them to help hand out these weighty statuettes will be Mike McCare, Managing Partner of EY.
Unfortunately, this weekend, we'll be watching as spectators when when the Rugby World Cup semi-finals are played. But at least we have tonight standing shoulder to shoulder with young businesses who we believe will be the teams to beat at home and abroad. Let's see how the first 4 line out.
Dave O'Flanagan is bringing a personal touch to the travel industry. With BoxEver software, airlines from New Zealand to the New World offer customers options tailored to their needs.
There's a great phrase that I heard: "This too shall pass." In life, whether you're up 10 days straight with a baby in the middle of the night, or you win a great deal and you get really excited in business, or something doesn't bounce your way in business, I think they're all transient things. Life moves on, and if you can apply a sense of perspective on the highs and the lows, I think it'll allow you to be more successful.
Morgan Brown's company designs business management software for 400 worldwide customers. With 100 employees, Milner Brown's turnover has increased tenfold since 2008.
Even when we bring everybody together once or twice a year, it gives me a little bit of a fright, but it's exciting as well. You sort of go, oh, who are all these people? Where they come from? At the very beginning, you don't know whether you're making the right decisions. You're very much on your own. It's a very lonely journey. But then as you build a strong team around you, you start to get the confidence that you're on the right track and you're doing the right things. Oh, there's been loads of pitfalls, challenges, everything. But that's part of what makes the journey exciting. The deeper you fall, the higher you climb.
X-Bolt Orthopedics are revolutionising the treatment of hip fractures with the innovative medical device invented by CEO and one-time surgeon Brian Thorne.
I liked gadgets, so I was probably always on the track to go into orthopedics. In developing the products, I think they're world beaters, but I have to prove them. I'm ploughing my own furrow, going to make a difference to the world, hopefully, and patients will benefit from what I've done. More patients than I ever could have imagined from just treating them myself.
Catherine O'Neill set up civil engineering company Emilio while finishing a master's at Queen's. From 0 to 50 employees in 3 years, it's been a roller coaster for the 26-year-old.
The harder you work, the luckier you become. Yeah, I suppose just see every opportunity as something to go for. It's been a fantastic year this year. I suppose the first thing was getting to grow Emilio into England, being nominated as part of the Entrepreneur of the Year, and getting engaged.
Well, the harder you work, the luckier you become, which are wise words indeed from Catherine O'Neill, joined on her table here somewhere by her very lucky fiancé and colleague, Dara. Well, they've had a memorable year. Let's see who gets lucky tonight.
3 months after launch, Ben Harris saw Drop rack up $1 million in sales. The Drop kitchen scales connects with a recipe app, turning baking into a slam dunk.
I think the enjoyment that you get out of a good meal or cooking something and sharing that with one of your friends is something that I'd like everyone to be able to have, essentially. Both my granddads were entrepreneurs, and I think that fed down into both my parents. It's in our blood, I think, you know, it's wanting to pave our own way.
Brandtone provide mobile marketing services in developing markets. As global entrepreneurs, Donald Fitzmaurice and Padraig McBride have long admired the awards alumni network.
It's a pretty cool club to be a part of in terms of role models and heroes of mine and Donald's too. People of similar mindsets who understand the heartache sometimes, I suppose, that's involved in setting up a business and making it successful.
I think both Padraig and I are very resilient individuals. Success is not the big happy days when it all goes right. It's really sticking out the 100 days between every good day when not much is going right.
Alan Coleman's Bright Bill are the human interface of billing, mixing psychology and design to anticipate customer needs, making paying up a little less painful.
I think some people who become entrepreneurs, the idea sticks. And it sticks and it won't go away. And it just sits there and it's like a scratch that needs itching. If this is a good idea, could I be the one that makes this idea work? You basically have to trust yourself and say, well, I think I can figure it out. It is really a lot about taking a leap of faith in yourself.
Agile design, build and operate IT networks. Dara Richardson's company provides the internet plumbing for 1.3 million end users every day.
I'm still learning every day, but I think being in something that you're really passionate about is a key part of being a good entrepreneur. It's hugely driven around the people I work with. That's by far the most important thing for me. In the analogy of rugby, I'm not good at kicking the ball, I'm better off in the scrum. It's very high profile, obviously, this. I know they've kind of described it as the Oscars of the business industry, and it really is. It's a bit like the Rose of Tralee for business people.
Well, thank you, Dara, because he's queued up the party piece segment of the evening, where the entrepreneurs, in order to become winners, must dance a jig, sing a greeting to the granny watching at home in Boston, or make a perfectly sweet but ultimately ineffective plea for world peace.
You can take the girl out of Hollywood. Or we can just announce a winner in the old-fashioned way. Please welcome to the stage to announce the new owner of a treasured trophy from News Talk, Garrett Hart, Dominic Coyle from the Irish Times, and from UTV Ireland, Claire Brock.
The show of talent on display tonight proves that the Irish economy has the X factor.
This year's winner has earned an emphatic yes from our judges.
The emerging entrepreneur of the year is Donald Fitzmaurice and Padraig McBride from Brandtone.
Building relationships between global brands and their customers, Brandtone communicates with over 68 million consumers through its mobile platform. Doubling its client base in 2015, the company aims to have a presence in 22 markets within 2 years. This stunning execution of strategy has made Padraig McBride and Donald Fitzmaurice the emerging entrepreneurs of the year.
So, it's a great honour that I accept this award together with Padraig on behalf of everybody in Brandtone. Participating in the Entrepreneur of the Year programme for us was really a wonderful experience. It gave us a chance to step back from our business after 5 years and think about the future. It gave us a chance to meet with amazing entrepreneurs who have given us so much advice and encouragement regarding how we go on. And it's given us a great opportunity to recognise the work of the 120 people in Brantone in 15 countries around the world that go to work every day and make a difference for us and for our clients. It also especially gives us an opportunity to thank our family and friends who are here today. And really, it's true to say, without their encouragement and support, there would be no Brantone. And in that respect, I would like to myself particularly thank my wife Isabel and our children Chris, Hugo and Amy, who are here today, for their support and encouragement.
This is a big shock. I'd like to reiterate what Donald said and thank everybody in the Brantone family, fantastic people to work with. I'd like to thank my own family, my mum, my brothers, my extended family, and I'd also like to dedicate from my part this award to my dad, who sadly is not here tonight, but I know he never did Pride, but I know he's smiling down at me tonight. Thank you very much.
Well, that's the first of tonight's 3 winners. Donald Fitzmaurice and Porrig McBride from Brantone, who now become eligible to become this year's overall Entrepreneur of the Year. 12 months ago, it was Mark Roden of Ding who claimed the top prize, earning the right to fly the Irish flag at the World Awards in Monaco. Let's see how his winning formula won over that famous circuit.
A glittering cast of 65 outstanding entrepreneurs from across the globe gathered in June to represent their countries at the World Awards.
It's been constant interviews, which has been fantastic exposure for us. Arriving here in Monaco has exceeded all my expectations. I've been incredibly well received, you know, as being the Irish country representative and winner. And when you are Irish abroad, the goodwill towards us internationally and in particular in business is fantastic.
Mark has really impressed me in terms of his preparation for this. He's very focused on the prize. I think he's also taken the week for what it is, which is that great opportunity to meet a lot of people, to look at ways in which he can develop and grow his business, to learn from some of the people that he's going to meet over here.
Nicola is here with me, and then I invited 10 of our company as well. We've picked people who have been just so good to Ding over the last 7 years.
The EY World Entrepreneur of the Year for 2015 is awarded to France, Mohed Altran.
I gave it everything I could. This has been a great stage for us to go on to the next stage, because it's not just about this award, it's about now where are we going to take the company. And I'm determined that we're going to use this as a platform to grow further.
The Entrepreneur of the Year Awards celebrate individuals and enterprises that create and sustain thousands of jobs all over the island of Ireland. Our second award of the night will go to the winner of the industry category.
Now, these entrepreneurs lead established businesses that have survived and thrived through boom and bust.
From the Banner County, Michael O'Dwyer is the driving force of TireCheck, a global leader automating the measurement and management of transport fleet tyres.
Every entrepreneur has an ego. You won't do this if you don't have an ego. There was always a phrase that's used in Clare that you'll end up on the Gort Road, and it was reference to a mental institution, an old Victorian building that was there, which is a landmark in Ennis. We have an office behind that building now, so my mother said you'll end up on the Gort Road. And yes, I have ended up on the Gort Road.
Employing 4,000 and with an annual turnover of €1 billion, Jack Dobson dedicated 40 years to growing Dunbia into a leading multinational food processor.
I think my particular strength would be relationships with people and trying to keep everybody happy. Mr. Go-Between. That's what I've been known more for that, you know. We have the relationship with the farmer beside us. We have the relationship with the people, the relationship with the supermarket. So we're just the vehicle in between. Like we're just like, well, you maybe call ourselves a big butcher shop. Really, that's really what we are.
Hacking the hackers is all in a day's work for Owen Goulding, with his fast-growing company Integrity 360, who are leading IT security specialists.
You can have a great product, but you really need the people behind it that makes it work. And that's why I'm successful. So many great people around me, you know, both in the business, but on my personal life. It took me 13 years to get a diploma, you know, after school when people were going through college. I was trying to run around and do deals. There's always been challenges, but you just got to take them head on, which I actually enjoy doing.
Sean Brett is the brains behind Steeltech Sheds, Ireland's leading manufacturer of garden sheds and garages. They've just doubled the production space with a new factory in Tuam.
The world's greatest opportunity comes in the disguise of an unsolvable problem. A lot of people see a problem. I see an opportunity. We couldn't drive from Galway to Dublin without seeing something on the way that say, there's an opportunity. Or at the middle of the night you're trying to sleep and you're coming up with mad ideas. It's the nature of the entrepreneur is sometimes you wish you could just switch off the brain, but it never stops.
I was Sean Brett. What a guy, what a car. An ever-renewable source of energy and enterprise. Sean is actually, if you need inspiration, he's knocking about table 87, so he's got a surplus stock of killer ideas if you want to talk to him a bit later on. Let's meet another 4 entrepreneurs whose creative volume is always amped up to 11.
At 50 years of age, Michael Hoyne founded startup Merlin Showering. Now Merlin leads the way in the design and engineering of shower enclosures across Ireland and the UK.
I often say to people, I don't work, I work in my hobby. And that's the way I look at it. Get a great buzz out of it every day. I love to see people maturing in the business and the growth of the business and people appreciating the success that they have brought to the company. There's 2 things I would say. Sometimes you've got to be in the right position at the right time, and you've also got to be lucky.
Terry Knox's CD Group employ 200 between Belfast, Dublin and Cork. The business has 100,000 square feet of branded car parts for distribution.
Every day's a school day, so I like to soak up as much as possible. A big part of what I still need to learn from is continually trying to delegate. It's a difficult one. It's all about a team environment. Not that I come in and have cheers and high fives, but that's what works for me.
Kenneth Green leads Green Farm Foods. Employing 160 in Westmeath, the company ships 500,000 packs of ready-to-eat meats each week.
We're always looking at how can we do things better? How can we be ahead of the game? And what's new, what's different? How can we save money? It's always a great journey. So we have to encourage more people into business and, just go for it.
Tom Moore, Nora Toomey and Paul Young are Cartoon Saloon, an Oscar-nominated animation studio from Kilkenny.
We wanted to do something new, something very original, or wanted to make stuff that was like very visually original looking and do sort of different types of stories. The Oscars is one of the best known worldwide brands, so when you get like that kind of recommendation, then it's great branding for the film too, It's very nice free marketing. For us it was just being passionate about what we like to do, I think. And then the commercial success kind of grows with it, if you stick to your guns and don't panic.
Well, I'm afraid the time has come for our industry entrepreneurs to politely panic because we're about to announce which of the 8 is the first among equals. With the magic envelope, please welcome Tom Hayes from Enterprise Ireland and Jeremy Fitch from Invest Northern Ireland.
Well, tonight's finalists really show that our island's most valuable natural resource is its entrepreneurs.
For carving out a truly inspirational story, the winner of the Industry Entrepreneur of the Year category is Jack Dobson, Dumbia.
It was Jack Dobson's vision that turned his small family butcher shop into the largest meat processing company in the UK and Ireland. Working together with almost 25,000 farmers, Jack is committed to creating a future which is sustainable and profitable for all. A truly deserving winner of the title, Industry Entrepreneur of the Year.
I don't know what to say here. I'm really flabbergasted, to tell you the truth. Can I say on behalf of Dumbia, it's a real honour and privilege. I'm just really humbled to be standing here in front of everybody here tonight. And can I just want to say on all the Jim, my brother of mine, my workers, the consumers, the suppliers, and everyone who supports us in the whole industry, it's been a real credit to everyone down the line. But I must give a lot of thanks to my wife, Grace, and my family, who have supported me down through the years. They've sacrificed a lot for us as we've gone through the years, some high, some low. But this is really an achievement for me after 40 years. Never did I do anything like this before, so thank you very much, and thank you.
Well, we already know two of the evening's winners, and we move now to the third and final category. For Ireland's international entrepreneurs, geography is history. They leap off the island and bring a unique vision of the future to the rest of the world. Their only business baggage is a drive designed to be carried in any cabin on any flight in the world. So let's meet our first four exporters of optimism.
When keeping an eye on the production line is critical, blue-chip companies look to Cork entrepreneur Frank Madden and Crest Solutions for the technology to deliver just that.
So I'm in a very difficult group, almost like I get nominated from the community games and I'm in the Olympics. So I'm a bit out of my depth in terms of the other companies, but I'm going to enjoy the ride for what it's worth. So I feel I have a responsibility as an Irish company to build an international organisation. And that's not about money. A lot of it is about, creating something that's Irish and successful.
Tech entrepreneur, inventor and philanthropist Sean O'Sullivan now leads SOSV, a $250 million venture capital fund backing the winners of the future.
I wanted to have a little bit more control of my destiny, and I thought that I could do that by being an entrepreneur. As it turns out, that's not really true, because you put yourself into an unstable situation for a very long period of time, but you have to embrace that uncertainty and continue to take on those challenges. You just put one foot in front of the other, and if you have a concrete enough vision and direction and a statement of what you're trying to achieve, and if the team is bought into that, then you're in good shape. I enjoy the game for the playing, not actually just for the winning, but it's a great joy just to play the game.
Founded in Newry by Alan Clark, StatSports count Barcelona, Juventus, Ireland and Ulster Rugby among the clients for their elite sports performance monitoring product.
Don't get me wrong, stubbornness isn't always a good thing, but in this instance stubbornness was, to persevere and keep going was very, very important, because the industry we're in, you're dealing in elite sport and there's a lot of layers to get through to get to the right people. I always had this faith that what we were doing, once we got the right traction, would snowball, and it has snowballed. I would have felt it would be an incredible achievement to win. I would never think that far ahead, to be honest with you. Just being part of it's fantastic.
From a bright idea to a global success, Alison Hogg's luxury cosmetics brand Vita Liberata supplies 28 countries via shops, salons and shopping TV.
The amount of things that have to come together in perfect harmony to make a success is huge. If you're going to do what we're doing, you kind of need to be able to see very far ahead, but also be able to deal with detail right here and now.
I was on holiday last week.
People sometimes say, oh, just follow your dream. Dreams are for sleeping. Vision is what gets you there.
Alison Hogg there, who wasn't happy to settle for wishful thinking, just like our next four entrepreneurs who also refused to leave their dreams on the pillow.
Ross Kelly and Conor Crowley are joint CEOs of financial software company Visor. Their products help central banks keep track of what's happening in their economies.
We've been through a lot of hard times. Our friends used to joke that our company was just a money incinerator, kind of got slagged all the time.
Right now we're growing strongly, and that's difficult, it's a challenge, but it's a good problem. Every day is a long day, you're tired at the end of it, but they're good challenges to have.
With offices in Austin, Texas, Bangalore and Dublin, Graham Stubbs' company Diona use mobile technology to make it easier for people to access government services.
A lot of businesses are not overnight successes. We've done very well so far, but I don't underestimate the challenges that we will face down the road. It is actually fun to know that our software is used in some of the biggest cities in the US, serving millions of people on a daily basis, and no one knows who we are.
With online payments company Stripe, Limerick brothers Patrick and John Collison have revolutionised the ease of online trading, building a $5 billion company in the process.
The core of entrepreneurship is wanting sort of the world to be different in some kind of discrete way. Normally you're really annoyed by sort of the way such and such thing works, and you think it should work in this other way, right?
Where we got the idea is it's the thing we had always wanted in our previous company. It had been phenomenally hard to actually set up a business online and start accepting payments for what you'd built. And at one stage, I remember, you probably remember this, saying to Patrick, how hard can it be? And it turns out pretty hard, actually.
Galway girl Denise Tormey moved to Silicon Valley to grow PlanNet 21 into a world-class IT integrator with several Fortune 100 clients stateside.
I think I listen to my instincts and go for it, and maybe ask for forgiveness later. It's a different place. Business is done slightly differently. I was kind of famous for my drive-bys. I pass by and maybe call into a client or whatever. You can't do that in America. You would end up in an orange jumpsuit, and orange is not my colour.
And to reveal the winner of the international category, please welcome Pádraig Ó Céada, the chair of the Alumni Board, and Anne Herity, the chair of the judging panel.
It's always an immense source of pride when one of our own steps up and stands out on the global business stage.
The EY International Entrepreneur of the Year is Patrick and John Collison from Stripe.
John and Patrick Collison have fearlessly disrupted the world of online payments, competing and winning against major international players. Their company Stripe has already raised €300 million and is growing at an unprecedented pace for an Irish company. The story is only beginning, but for raw ambition and relentless innovation, the Collisons are the 2015 International Entrepreneurs of the Year.
Wow. Patrick, who I'm accepting this on behalf of alongside tonight, I'd like to thank him. I can't think of a better person to start a company with. I'd really like to thank Ernst & Young, Mike and Kevin and the whole team who also have full-time jobs, but you wouldn't guess it, based on the polish and attention to detail and care that goes into this program. And I think starting a business can often feel like plowing a lonely furrow, and they've put together something pretty special with the community. Very much want to thank the now over 300 Stripes who really made this possible, and I feel genuinely very lucky to work alongside each and every day. And I guess lastly, I'd like to thank my parents, Lily and Dennis, and my family, who have been really surprisingly tolerant of the whole thing, whether it's moving overseas, dropping out again. They're really quite special. Thank you.
So as nominees in Entrepreneur of the Year, our 24 finalists enter much more than a competition. I think they enter a community of people who see and think in the same way. And last June, they took a week out, traveling together to Munich and Berlin for an intensive week in each other's company. Now, it sounds like a jolly, but Angela Merkel thought they were working.
The German economy is a wonderful success story. It's almost the envy of most economies across the world. I think it's important when people are going out under this particular competition that they remember they also have something to tell Germany too. Ireland has many success stories, and our brilliant businesses here are brilliant businesses throughout the world.
To bring our entrepreneurs away to an international destination gives them headspace, gives them time to think, and we deliberately challenge them with the executive education and the talks.
You think you have a very big task at hand, so you need a very complicated product to help you get there.
It's a very interesting time to be in Germany, but it's also a great opportunity for people outside Germany to come in with a different view, like the Irish, and say, actually, you're very good at making, we're very good at selling, let's do business.
Garden Sheds is my business, and I can't go anywhere without looking at the local shed centre. I've been surprised at the quality. I mean, I know we can make a better shed, and just for the challenge of saying we can provide Germany with a better shed for a change, instead of them providing us with the best washing machines and everything else in the world, cars and whatnot.
Across a jam-packed week, VIP visits to leading local companies combined perfectly with educational sessions with world-renowned speakers. For many of the entrepreneurs, though, the most valuable lessons were to be harvested from each other.
By design, we deliberately mix them across the dinners and the events and the sessions to give them those moments where they can generate really good conversations, deep relationships and trading relationships for the rest of their careers. It's almost like spontaneous combustion when they come into the rooms.
You still need the product. You still need the asset.
I did not realise the value that it brings and the people you meet and the stuff you get on a day-to-day basis. Like it's totally blown my expectations away.
Everybody is behind you and everybody wants you to do well, and you know, it's that support that is fantastic.
The networking, the contacts, you know, the exhaustion, all of that kind of makes a certain blend of discussion, dialogue. You know, I think you're building contacts, but building friendships also.
You very much feel that you're part of a club, and that the club is a very special club. Once you're in, and you can't be thrown out. For sure, I'll be here next year.
Well, you're very welcome back. Every year this gala night recognises an individual whose work has made a profoundly positive difference in Irish life.
To announce the recipient of this year's special award, will you please welcome the partner of EY Entrepreneur of the Year, Kevin McLaughlin.
Entrepreneurs are motivated to tackle the unsolvable problems. This year's Special Award winner started his journey as a young man with a mission in Dublin's inner city. Almost 40 years later, he continues to bring hope and opportunity to some of the most vulnerable people in our society.
Entrepreneurial achievement is often born out of adversity. But this year's Special Award winner started out as a young boy blessed with all the advantages of a prosperous family.
I grew up in a good home. I had a good education. I went to third level. I could have had a good job if I hadn't joined the Jesuits. For me, Ireland was a great place to live, to grow up and live.
But Peter's journey was to take a different path. As a young priest in Dublin's north inner city, his eyes were opened to a life less sheltered.
I came across then a 9-year-old kid sleeping on the street. So we said, gosh, we have a number of projects for young people, so let's open a little hostel. I ran that hostel for a couple of years, and the kids were leaving that then at 16 and a half. They were going back onto the streets because there was nothing for them at that age. So we opened a little hostel then for the over 16s, and then it just snowballed from there.
Moving to live in Ballymun's Towers, Peter reached out to the homeless, even opening a centre in the flat next door. From these humble beginnings, his vision has grown to employ 200, run 14 hostels, 4 homes for vulnerable youth, own 130 apartments, and operate a drop-in centre in the heart of the capital.
I get far more from homeless people than I give to them. You see behind the label homeless person, and you meet the real person. And the real person is terrific, and many of them just have had very, very unfortunate, disastrous even, starts to life. I know if I had grown up in their circumstances, I'd be exactly the same.
The mission of the Peter McVerry Trust is refreshingly simple. They aim to move people out of hostels and into their own accommodation. The strategy delivers cost savings. More than that, it delivers dignity.
I haven't slept in my own room in a long, long, long time, and it's very comfortable. And this is where my bathroom is. This is my sitting room, where I spend the evenings, watch TV. It's very comfortable, very quiet.
When you see a homeless person who's coming from a hostel and you say, you can have this for the rest of your life, and you see their beam on their face, that's very, very worthwhile.
I couldn't really take it all in. Right, this is yours, you have this. You know, it's what you make of it. Peter has the best education anybody I know. Like, he learned me everything I know, how to read, how to write, good from wrong. Yeah. When he became a Jesuit, that's what he gave his life up for, to help the homeless people.
Paddy was the 9-year-old that we took in first. We opened our first hostel for him. Yeah. So I've known him all his life. What most homeless people, I think, really want is to be accepted and to be treated with respect. There will be another 300 to 400 families that will have become homeless in the Dublin area.
For 4 decades, Peter McVerry's energy has echoed that of a classic entrepreneur. But there's one big difference between him and high achievers in business, and it's his exit strategy.
Well, our ambition is to go out of business. Our ambition is to end homelessness.
Please welcome to the stage Peter McVerry, this year's Special Award winner.
I'd like to thank Ernst & Young for this award this evening, which is so richly undeserved. This award really is a tribute to the work of our staff, our volunteers and our management. It is through them that whatever contribution we have made to homeless people or to former homeless people, it has been through their commitment and their dedication. I'm different from all the other entrepreneurs here because they have been successful. When I started working with homeless people, there were 1,000 homeless people in Ireland. Today, after 35 years, there are 5,000 homeless people in Ireland. Not much of an achievement to be getting an award for. However, as I said, our objective is to become extinct like the dinosaurs when there are no homeless people left. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen in my lifetime. It is to the shame of our nation that despite having the strongest economic growth in the EU, we have a rapidly growing problem of homelessness. we have lost our sense of outrage. And I welcome this award particularly because it acknowledges the importance of homeless people in our society. Homeless people often feel rejected, unwanted, and marginalised. And to award me with this is a recognition of them and of the fact that they are valued members of our society. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Now we close in on the evening's premier award. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome the EY Managing Partner, Mike McCare.
Minister Noonan, Minister Foster, 2015 finalists, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to host the 18th EY Entrepreneur of the Year Awards. Coming from all parts of our island, this year's finalists collectively employ over 5,000 people, and last year alone created 1,000 new jobs. And their contribution to the Irish economy doesn't stop there. Last year, our finalists generated over €1.4 billion in revenues. At the heart of the success of tonight's 24 finalists is their ambition to create innovative solutions to global challenges, finding new and sustainable sources of competitive advantage. Representing 8 sectors from technology, agriculture, film through to health and beauty, these great entrepreneurs embody the spirit required to succeed in today's fast-moving world. They are using technology to transform how businesses interact with each other, help athletes achieve more, and make farming more sustainable. They are developing networks in Ireland and internationally as part of the ecosystem that is required to develop a thriving, vibrant entrepreneurial sector. At EY, we are proud to play our part, not just by fostering an entrepreneurial spirit and creating jobs within our own business, but more importantly, by providing the opportunity for leading Irish entrepreneurs to connect, support, learn, and ultimately trade with each other. Over 55% of the Entrepreneur of the Year community now do business with one another. If business, government, funders and educators can connect to foster a collaborative environment, then I'm confident we have the entrepreneurial talent in Ireland to ensure economic prosperity and success. The Entrepreneur of the Year programme is itself a great example of collaboration, and I'd like to say a special word of thanks to our judges who do not have an easy job selecting a winner, and our sponsors who help make this the most prestigious business award on the island. 3 of the entrepreneurs remain in the running for the overall award: Donald Fitzmaurice and Porrick McBride from Brantone, Jack Dobson from Dumbia, and John and Patrick Collison from Stripe. I'm sure you will agree they are all deserving winners, but only one can take the overall award. The 2015 EY Entrepreneur of the Year is John and Patrick Collison from Stripe.
Just incredible. Great to see you. And I can't tell you how happy I am to be standing here, because I know anybody who knows Silicon Valley knows how incredibly respected what you've done is. But what's it like being home to get this kind of recognition?
Jet lagged.
I know that feeling, but I mean, literally, you've got a company worth, at last check, I think $5 billion. You're 26 years old. What happens over the next 10 years? What's the next trick?
Yeah, I mean, if you actually, that reminds me of one group that I forgot to thank in the previous speech that'll get into your question, which is, if you look at what we're doing at Stripe and what we'll be doing over the next 10 years, it's making it easy for people to build an online business and accept payments from their customers online. And so that's our focus. There are now tens of thousands of businesses doing that with Stripe, and I mean that's really what enables this today. Without those businesses, some of whom are in this room, there is no Stripe. And so our next 10 years is us continuing to focus on, making it easy to move money around online, making it easy for money to move across borders, and making it easier for online businesses to operate.
John, as people watching at home tonight, probably your age, wondering and wanting to be an entrepreneur, but just not quite sure, what's your advice to people of your age who are thinking about jumping into what is a roller coaster ride?
When I think of the spirit of entrepreneurship and what really makes it stand out, the defining property for me is that dissatisfaction with the status quo and wanting to see some change in the world. And I mean, it's kind of like I said in the video, at a certain point, Patrick and I just said, screw it, how hard can it be? And I think lots of us day to day have that nagging feeling of, this is not quite right, this could work so much better. And I think being willing to, despite being totally unqualified, despite, this not being my gig, being willing to jump in and act on that is all you can really do.
Finally, you talked about your parents during your acceptance speech earlier on. What are they putting in the water at the Collison House? I know your brother as well. Tommy's also incredibly successful. So what is it? What is the thing that happened in your family that produced this sensational result?
I don't know. We'd have to go ask Irish Water about that.
Well, listen, John, thank you so much. I'll let you go celebrate. Have a great night. Thanks a million. John Collison.
That's a fantastic way to bring our evening to a close. We want to thank again our special guests, Minister Arlene Foster, Ministers Michael Noonan, and our friends and colleagues who presented the awards. And of course, we want to congratulate all 24 finalists.
But we also want to thank you at home for watching, because don't stand still. The search now begins for next year's winner. So what are you waiting for?